Today we're talking about why your chicken may be losing their feathers. Hello everyone. Today we are back in the coop and we are talking about molting. This little guy here isn't molting. He's got his first set of adult feathers. He hasn't quite reached that 1.5 year mark. First thing you'll notice is a large amount of feathers laying about your coop or your run or outside, wherever your chickens may hang out for most part of the day. You'll see a large amount of feathers on the ground. Nothing to be alarmed about. The chickens do go through this process generally about once a year or so. Their feathers get old and worn, and they need to be renewed. So they will drop the old feathers and replace them with new ones. Now, during that process, you'll get quite a bit of a dander accumulation in your coop, and there's all kinds of things going on with your chicken. They're going to be quite uncomfortable. So once they've dropped the old feathers, they will get new pins where the new feathers will develop, and that could be very painful for them. So you're going to want to make sure that during the process you're not handling your hens too much, or your roos. The roos will also molt, and they're going to be cold. So if you live in an environment where the temperatures change, you're going to want to make sure you got yourself a heat light, and you'll notice that most of our girls are all molting at the same time here and shedding their feathers, so they are spending a lot of time underneath that heat light. It will help them regulate their body temperatures during the process. We have seen people tempted to throw sweaters on their chickens. I personally stand against this process. Really, actually, it's going to be more painful for them. The clothing is going to push down on those pins and make it very, very uncomfortable for them. During the process, they're gonna conserve as much energy as they can to develop those new feathers. So you're gonna want to make sure that they again have a good heat source so that they can maintain their body temperatures. Nutrient is also very important for the feather development. You're gonna want to make sure that they're getting their calcium and their protein intakes, it doesn't hurt to get them a little bit of magic water, as we know it in the chicken world. This will help boost their immunity and get them on their way to getting their new feathers in. We will have a link to the video on how to make your magic waters for those of you not familiar with that. And very helpful, very good to have around, especially in the changing of the seasons where the chickens might develop a cold or anything like that. There's going to be a large accumulation of dander in your coop. You're going to want to make sure that once they're done, that you get a good clean sweep out of your coop, get all that dander out of there. They will develop respiratory issues from that additional dander being in the air. If you notice there's any kind of sneezing or labored breathing, wheezing in their breathing, go ahead and treat with that VetRx, and we'll go ahead and put some links on those medications as well, and how to administer them, and that should help clear those issues up right away. When it comes to molting, you'll want to be able to tell the difference between whether or not your chicken is going through a natural process or if they're being overbred. If you notice some hens that have excessive feather loss on the backs of their heads or on their backs, that could be an overbreeding issue, and you may just want to make sure that they're not being overbred by your roosters, and maybe create a level of separation there, and give that chicken a little bit of a break and let them get their feathers grown back in. Nothing to be alarmed about if you see it happening in your younger chicks. Generally, from when they're hatched, they will go through a couple of molts as they lose their baby down and get their adult feathers, and then once again, until they're about 1.5 years old, they'll go through their first adult molt. So you want to, if you notice that as they're younger, you'll want to, again, make sure you're not handling them that much and let them go through the process, especially the babies. I'm sure it's very painful for them and uncomfortable for them. You will notice that when they're molting, their egg production drops. Traditionally and generally, unless you're creating a heated coop 24/7, the chickens will usually lower their egg production going into fall and winter. You're going to want to make sure you've been water glassing or learning how to water glass and store your eggs. We will link a video to that as well. Very, very easy method of keeping your eggs for months on the shelf and going into winter having fresh eggs when your chickens go into their molt and into the cold season and stop producing eggs for you. So I think we covered just about everything you need to know about molting and understanding molting. As always, I'm sure I forgot something. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop a comment in there. And if you want to catch any of our other videos and you haven't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do that. It won't cost you anything, and you'll catch all of our videos as they come up. We do a lot of chicken videos, but a lot of other homesteading stuff as well. And yeah, the whole process here, folks, maybe 1 to 3 months. So don't be alarmed if your chicken looks kind of haggard for the better part of 3 months. Again, give them the heat, give them plenty of food, make sure they have access to good levels of protein and calcium and supplement. And you'll see they get back to normal in no time and ready for those cold winter months. Now, if you live in an area where it doesn't get cold and you see this molting, it is part of their natural process. So don't be alarmed. It's not just a winter thing.